Welcome to the Warn FM briefing, where we look at real-world building incidents and the lessons they hold for facility managers. Today's question is simple. Will your emergency plans still work when the emergency removes the building, the road, or the system that your plan depends on? A vacant building fire closed the railway line. A wildfire closed visitor facilities and access roads. A fire in Johannesburg created questions about safe reoccupation. A suspected arson attack removed both a retailer's premises and its online water system. And a fire at a major oil refinery shows that critical infrastructure remains exposed even when it is not operating normally. Our first story comes from Wakefield, a town in the USA. A fire broke out in a large vacant commercial building on Friday afternoon. The building was 1 story high and measured about 1,000 square meters. Firefighters arrived to find smoke and flames coming from the property. The incident quickly grew to catastrophic level and more resources were requested. Because of the danger, firefighters stayed outside and used large water streams to attack the fire. Several small explosions occurred. Neighboring properties were also in danger. The nearby commuter railway line had to be closed so the firefighters could direct water over the tracks. The weather made the response even more difficult. Crews were working in extreme heat and in high humidity. Several firefighters needed treatment for dehydration and heat exhaustion, although no serious injuries were reported. 2 excavators were brought in during the night. They pulled apart the damaged buildings. The firefighters could reach hidden hotspots. The cause remains under investigation. For facility managers, the main lesson is that a vacant building is still at active risk. It may contain old equipment, maybe gas cylinders, or chemicals and abandoned stock or waste. People may also enter without permission. The fire alarm and sprinkler system may no longer be operating normally. Every vacant property needs a written management plan. Who inspects it and how often? Which services remain connected? What materials are still inside? And where's the building information kept? The railway closure is another important lesson. A building fire can interrupt services beyond the site boundary. Your emergency plan should identify nearby roads, railway lines, businesses, and utilities that could be affected. Our second story comes from Mount Rainier National Park in Washington. The Grand Park 2 fire was reported on the 7th of August. By Sunday, it had burnt more than 300 acres and was not contained. The fire was located close to Sunrise Visitor Center. The Sunrise area and White River campground were closed. Visitors were escorted out. Roads and trails were also closed. Fire engines, ground crews, and aircraft were sent to the area. The incident shows why access can become the main operational problem. A building does not need to burn before the facility becomes unusable. If the road closes, employees cannot arrive. Customers and visitors cannot leave safely. Emergency vehicles and contractors may not be able to reach the property. Deliveries also stop. Generator fuel may also not arrive. Facility managers need to decide who can close the property before the route becomes dangerous. Visitor facilities also need a reliable way to count people. This becomes harder when visitors are spread across roads or trails, parking areas, and other outdoor spaces. After a wildfire, do not reopen only because the flames have moved away. Check the roofs, the gutters, ventilation filters, solar panels, and external equipment first. Confirm that water, power, and fire systems and the communications are working correctly. A third incident comes from Johannesburg. Fire broke out shortly before 6 o'clock on Friday morning. It affected the second floor of a multi-story building at the corner of Moy and Kerkstraat in Central Business District. Firefighters contained the blaze. No injuries were confirmed in the first report. Crews remained at the scene to check for hotspots, and inspectors were expected to investigate the cause. At this stage, we do not know how the affected floor was being used. We also do not have verified findings about the alarms, escape routes, or electrical system. The main lesson is about reopening. The fact that the flames are out does not mean the building is ready for tenants and customers. Smoke may have entered the stairs, the lift shaft, and service opening. Water may have damaged ceilings and electrical equipment. Fire doors or alarm devices may no longer work. The property manager should prevent uncontrolled re-entry. Structural, electrical, and fire system inspections must be completed. Tenants should receive one clear message explaining what is closed and who may enter and when the next update will be issued. The reopening decision should be written down and supported by the required specialist. A fourth story comes from Salford in the United Kingdom. A major fire destroyed a menswear store and warehouse during the night. Large flames and thick smoke affected the area. Roads were closed and nearby occupants were told to keep their doors and windows shut. The business also had to suspend online order processing. Police are treating the incident as suspected arson. Reports indicate that the fire may have started in a caravan beside the property before spreading to the commercial building and nearby vehicle. The investigation is continuing, so no person or motive has been confirmed. For property managers, the important area is the building perimeter. What is parked or stored against the outside wall? Are waste bins, pallets, vehicles, or temporary structures close enough to spread fire into the building? Does CCTV cover the service yard? Is the lighting working? Will an alarm be sent to a monitored control room after hours? This incident also demonstrates that remote trading requires off-site systems. A business may have an online store, but it cannot process orders if the computer's data or telephone systems are inside the damaged building. Critical information should be backed up away from the property. The business should also have a simple plan for telling customers about delays and alternative arrangement. A final story comes from Saudi Arabia. The fire occurred at the Jazan oil refinery. Saudi Arabia's energy ministry says the fire was extinguished and nobody was injured. The Houthi movement in Yemen claims it attacked the refinery with a drone. The Saudi statement did not confirm the final cause of the fire. The refinery was already shut down following earlier attacks. That fact creates an important facility management lesson. A building or industrial plant does not become safe simply because production is stopped. Fuel may remain in the tanks and pipes. Electrical systems may remain connected. Fire water pumps, alarm security systems, and emergency power must still work. Reduced staffing may also slow the detection of a problem. Shutdown procedures must explain which systems stay operational. Critical fire and security equipment must continue to be tested. After an incident, restarting requires control. Today's facility management tip is to plan for the lost route. Choose one important part of your emergency plan, then remove it. Imagine that the main entrance is closed. Imagine that the control room cannot be entered. Imagine that the emergency file is inside the building. Imagine that the internet and telephone systems are down. What is the alternative? Record a second route, a backup location, another contact method, and a second person who can make the decision. Keep important building information off-site. The emergency plan must continue working after the emergency removes part of the plan. Today's incidents show that good facility management is not only about responding to the original event, it is about keeping people informed, protecting neighboring properties, and maintaining control when normal systems are no longer available. If you found this briefing useful, subscribe to the Ward FM update. Practical facility management guidance, training, and support. Visit us at wardfm.com. Thank you for watching.